God bless older women.
They have their own place, own car. They set up.
Because I'm just like, it was such a peaceful transition. Like there was every part of it was easy.
What's up, y'all? We are back with another episode of Menisms. I'm here, Michael Scenario, with my guy
Muriel Nkoya.
And we are back again with another episode. How you doing, my G? God bless.
Always ready. Stay ready.
It's a beautiful topic we have today, but apart from that, how you doing today? You good? You sipping? You relaxed? You chilled? You fine?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm great, actually.
Good vibes.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this topic, and
I'm excited.
Today's topic is pretty exciting, and I think, in fact, you know what? Before we get into today's topic, it is part of the topic, but I'm gonna throw a question at you, right? What the first person who ever hit on you? By hit on you, I mean they outright toasted you. Yeah. Was it someone that was in your peer group? Was it someone that was younger than you? Was it someone that was older than you?
That's a very good.
I mean, you literally engaged with them because they came to toast you. It wasn't like you ran into each other, or she's friends with your friend and she's trying to link up. She came to you. She hit you up in the DMs, toasting you.
DM.
No, I mean it could be DMs. It could be real life.
I thought you meant from when you were a kid and all that.
Nah, the fuck, bro. No.
So when are we? No, you said the first girl to toast you.
No. Well, so obviously,
so what do you mean by
I mean, if you were a kid, that's not really toasting.
No,
I mean,
so what do you mean by what age group? So let's distinguish that.
Okay, fine, fair enough. So I'd say maybe from 19 down to 29. Because at that point, you know what a toaster is and what a toastie is. So you know when you're the toastie.
So the thing is, when I was 18, 19, I used to actually chill around older women all the time because all my older cousins ran a lot of the events in Lagos. So they used to throw all the parties. They used to go to all the clubs. So that's even how I started, because I used to follow all of them to the clubs. So I was the only, not saying 18, 19-year-olds weren't clubbing and all that, but in terms of you are in sections, you're in tables 24/7, I was there. So obviously the girls that are going to be there were girls older than me that were already in their early 20s, mid 20s and all that. So sometimes when I go out with my cousins, obviously I'll meet some of these girls, and the only thing I had to my name then was myself.
Fair enough.
There's no assets. There's no thing. Well, personality is cute boy. Hey, what's up? Do you like me for me? And it works sometimes, don't get it too. Some of these older girls are okay, you cute, you're attractive, but what do you have to offer and all that? And it's from that age I started learning. So, but then you don't know. You're just shooting your shot. Then obviously, then it's girls your age normally. But I think there was something about older girls that made me mature a bit more. What I because the fact that I was introduced to it so early, it made me calm down a bit more, because I started seeing what women like. So obviously I'm if women like this, that means the girls my age are going to like this eventually. They already do, but obviously they're younger. You get what I'm saying? But at the same time, with me saying all this, the rejection was a lot, don't get it twisted. I remember the worst rejections I've ever gotten was at 19 years old. I'll never forget this beautiful, beautiful older woman. I cannot forget, she had buttercream skin in London that we met. We all went out one time. Everything was good. Sure. I can never forget. Buttercream skin, was brown skin, all that. We went clubbing one time with me and my cousins and all that, right? So the night's going good. They're this is my younger cousin. So I'm feeling myself yo, what's up? How are you? And all that. She's oh, you're cute. I'm like, all right, fair. We go clubbing. At the club, obviously drinks are hidden. Mm-hmm. We had great conversation before the club. At the club now, we start dancing. And we danced the whole night. In terms of, she didn't leave me. So even at one point, people in the club are looking at us because also I'm the youngest and it's all her friends and my old cousin's friends. So everybody's looking this girl's been with this my white guy the whole night. So we dancing, I'm feeling it. I'm just oh shit, I got this at the end of the night now. I'm just okay, I'm gonna get her number and all that, because obviously we've been dancing. So everybody's saying bye, they're going this way. So I tell her yo, it was nice meeting you today. Yo, you're very pretty and all that. Yo, I want to get your number. This girl looks at me with confidence, straight face. She's oh, you're so cute. Make sure you study hard in school, dear. Never forget that day. Mind you, so in my head, I've sold myself a dream already. Yo, okay. I have felt everything. At 19, knowing wine with the girl, I felt everything. The bum's been on me. Shit, she even felt it. So I'm I ain't a kid no more. You get what I'm saying? This is a man right here. I'm feeling it. She stayed with me I'm talking about from 11 o'clock to 2. They don't leave me. was even pulling me to the side of the club and all that. And then in the night, yeah, let me get your number. Oh, she now did that. Women are bastards sometimes. She now slapped my, you know, and do like this. Study hard there.
I'm gonna sip this like hot cocoa.
Like
I'm getting actual tea.
I will
right now
never,
because, bro,
I can never forget that thing. That thing almost took me down a very toxic path, but I'm a strong-willed man.
Okay, so
Strong-willed man.
I mean, so it goes without saying that today's topic, obviously with all the context, is dating women older, younger, or age mates, peer groups. So I guess we're going to be sharing some experiences we've had, and we're going to be sharing what we think some men shouldn't do. So what some men...
Have you dated an older woman before?
I have. We'll get into it. It's
Why are you avoiding the question? Answer the question now.
I have. Again, I guess that kind of dating, like she wasn't my girlfriend and shit, but yeah, we were seeing each other, to some extent, and yeah.
To some extent.
Actually, you know what? I could actually share that experience now. So I mean, I think the oldest person I've dated, the biggest age difference I've had.
Because you know what I realized is, you know, when we were younger, there was still that, so it has to be year gap.
Yeah,
now.
so it has to be year gaps now, right? So thinking about it now, the age difference then was, I'm calculating that as like 14 years, 15.
15. So how old are you?
Yeah, 15 years. Yeah.
So how old are you?
So I was 22 and she was 30. She was 38. Yeah.
38.
37. 37.
Okay. Where in Lagos?
Yeah, in Lagos.
Okay.
So the thing is,
Can see that.
so I think I can kind of like, okay, so I got into the like professional workspace like really early, like 2021, right? So at 22, like people I'm dealing with across the table are like people who are like, you know, head of operations, MDs, stuff like that. So it got to happen that I was on this project where, like, you know, I guess she was like the project manager and stuff like that. Of course, for a different company and whatnot, but we always had to like see each other. And she was one of those. She's older, but she's hot. Like, I mean,
there's a woman glow that some of these older women have that is like, yo, you a woman. You're not a girl. You're a woman.
And then there's just no way to explain. There's no other way to explain this feeling. Like, you have to actually feel it. When that older woman who's hot, you're seeing her from afar, then one day, either at the work, you know, site you guys are going to, or even at the office or wherever it is you guys are meeting, or maybe after a meeting, you guys are like done trying to like, you know, have a chit chat before you go. And then she's like, so what are you doing later after work? Yeah, this is me trying to not cry tears of joy here. Just try to remember the memories, my G. She asked me, so of course, like, I guess since I was, from like my 21, 22, there's a way I've kind of carried myself where, like, you know, people see me thinking like I'm 5 years, 6 years older than I am, like, because I'm already in the workspace, I'm already like, you know, just right there, I kind of have my shit in place, right? So she asks me what I'm doing after work, and then I'm like, oh, I don't have any plans. Again, like I said, I like to eat out. So in my mind, I'm like, okay.
That was in your peak days.
Yeah. So in my mind, I'm like, you know, we could go. And then it was like, you're either going to like Wheat Baker, you know, or you're going to. Then she would be like a member at the Koi Club. I'm like, okay, yeah, we could go there, you know. So again, you know, she was like, you know what, it's fine. I mean, I'll hit you up after work. Let's go out and grab a drink or something like that. I'm like, it's cool. Now, there's definitely, you know, I mean, and I think I speak for every guy when I say, when you're having a conversation with an older woman who kind of like just knows what she wants. First of all, there's no anxiety. The only anxiety is you don't want to fuck up. You know,
I'll say, are you sure? Are you sure about that? Because I feel like there's more anxiety with an older woman than a girl your age.
Let me tell you what I mean by anxiety. So by anxiety, I mean you're not anxious in that. Okay, I hope this one's not going to like start ordering the whole place. Oh, I don't know.
So you're talking about when you're on a date.
Yeah. I mean that is. So
okay.
We went out to drinks, right?
The relationship
so we went out to drinks. Now, averagely, right? If a girl my age or even younger than me asks me out to go out on drinks, I'm still the one paying, right? So in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm not even trying to be here. Not even really enjoying this conversation like that. You know, but then like there's this babe, and she's just, asking me like the right questions, and then she's like, okay, so like, I mean, just tell me straight up, what do you do for fun? In my mind, I'm thinking, bro, if this was like a younger girl, I have to like first act like I'm holier than thou. I'm a virgin and shit.
I get where you're coming from, because the reason I was confused at first is because, like, for me, there's more anxiety with an older woman, obviously, just because she's older.
Which is what I'm saying. So I'm not trying to fuck up, yeah.
Exactly. So there's that anxiety, but like you just said, with older women, because they know what they want, it's not a lot of sugarcoating questions
thank you
you're
very
asking
much.
a younger girl, like, this. She's actually asking questions about, she's getting to know you, but because she probably already knows what she wants, and again, she's at a comfortable space that there's no pressure for her that she needs to even be reserved and all that.
Yeah.
She too, in fact, I realized older women, should I say, apologies, older women are basically men for younger guys.
Yes, technically. That's
for
what it is.
younger guys.
Which is why there's such a thing as a sugar mommy as well. Like, I mean, to be fair, because
she's literally taking the responsibility of a man for you until you get level up to the point that it's like, oh yeah, madam, you've done your part. I appreciate you. The roles have now switched.
Exactly. Yeah.
You can rest now.
Yeah. So and that's been my personal. That was one personal experience I had, and we went on a day, we had drinks, and then it was like straight on, like, you know what? I think you should come by my place this weekend. God bless older women.
They have their own place, own car. They set up.
Because I'm just like, it was such a peaceful transition. Like, there was no, every part of it was easy, right? I guess it was only just that, moral compass of our society saying, oh my God, you're with an older woman. Other than that, to be honest, like, I could see me wanting to like build something more with her, right? Stuff like that.
But let me ask you a question, what you just said there now, because I feel like that's a trap a lot of us young dudes fall for. Because you will like what you see from the beginning. She's easy, she's on that, but is it sustainable? Is it sustainable? Because even with them now, older women too they're way more mature than you.
Not just women, I'm very needy. My G.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, they're more mature than you, and not to the point that, like you said,
again, it doesn't apply to every older woman, but like on the general spectrum.
So it's like you in your head, you'll be saying, this is what I want, until you really see the qualities of her that you'll be like, can I maintain this? Can I say? Because even, like you said, similar to you, like, I had an older woman I was seeing in Lagos at one point, but she actually taught me the game without even teaching me, in terms of, she's not like she was telling me this is the game. Is from that experience I realized so much, because like you said, she had her own place. She'd invite me over, I'll go chill there and all that. But then subconsciously there was a pressure in my head, like, damn, this woman already got all this. Like, me too, I want my own shit. Like, you know how you go to their own places, I'm like, you too, it inspires you low-key. Like, that's one thing I like about dating older women. They inspire you. The right one inspires you. Like, okay, she got her own place. Like, I can do this. The conversations, like you say, were beautiful, free-flowing and all that. And then I remember for me, though, my problem with this older girl I was seeing was just the timing, because that was when I was, like, on my hustle stage. So, like, last year, for example, like, early in the year, that's when I was really hustling, trying to start everything back. Some funds were not that... But she didn't care. But I don't think she knew the full story. Yeah, but in my head, it's like, okay, I can still come over, bring drinks and all that. But I remember there was one time, like, we have been seeing each other for a minute now. She asked me to, like, there's one time, like, that week. You know when you have those weeks that, like, there's no money this week. When you're on, like, on hustle stage, like,
no money.
Like, next week will be fine. Like, Friday, I know money is coming in on Monday, but right now, this week, I've hustled, I've paid for bills, this week I just need to be low-key. And we're seeing each other. So then she now asked me one time, can I buy her a platter from somewhere? I said, oh, okay, where from? Told me the place. How much is the platter? 20K. I said, excuse me? Now, you see how I said, like, because it was that time. Like, if it's now, for example, you don't like, in my head, I'll just be like, this. All right, in my head, I'll be like, platter, 20K. But okay, fair enough. Like, all right, well, I'll still question. But then it was like, bro, I couldn't
like,
do
you're trying
shit.
to, like, eat 20,000 naira, like, no?
Like, what is really, in
like,
your head,
that's your afternoon meal?
Bro, it's like,
wow.
It's like we said earlier on one time, like, if I go to Black Belt, I can spend 3K, 4K. But
so here's the thing, and I'll just mention this on the side, right? Because for people who would be watching this and would be saying, this sounds like broke guys.
No.
No, on one of our previous episodes where we spoke about financial pressure, societal pressure, it was something I guess we didn't really chip in then, but like, people end up creating this bubble of pressure for themselves where it's like, you're creating a new standard. A standard you can't even live by. Like a standard you can't
And the
even
standard
sustain.
she probably didn't even ask for.
Yes, exactly.
She didn't, because
Right?
sometimes women be like, they didn't ask for this. It's you that set it up.
Because if we're being realistic, right? If we're being realistic, the average Nigerian cannot survive on 20,000 naira per meal. Per meal, meaning you're spending like minimum 40K a day.
No, it's not possible.
So imagine spending 40K a day for 7 days a week. I mean,
Unless you get to a certain point that
but that's not the average Nigerian again. So and that's why I'm saying then that, you know, even when people would watch this and be like, you're saying is it not just 20K? You're looking at it as like, okay,
but
like
at that time, see, let me be real. At that time,
I need so this 20K.
hard.
I mean, I have the money in my account, but you see, this 20K I might want to spend on food,
Bro,
I'm already
and
thinking
think about
I
it. That
can buy some
week
things that
already,
can make my
especially
money
like
back.
again. That's why I said that was hosting stage.
You've
I've
paid
been
for,
out.
You've paid for 20K.
I paid for.
You paid for
stuff.
20K.
I remember even that week,
bill.
I had 2 client meetings that week, and again, client meetings means you have to eat out. So I've already
Yes.
eaten out twice in a 5-day week. Now this one last minute I didn't plan for is there. It's like and the funny thing
And you know,
is,
most times they don't know this backstory.
But you know
to
what's
them,
funny?
it's just like, my own 20K.
but as I said, now that I think about it,
Yeah.
looking back, because what's funny is that one thing messed everything up. That one thing, because I was not honest, because I kept delaying and all that, and she too should be like, "Why are you moving funny?" and all that. Then I started moving funny in other stuff because she started asking other questions. So
yeah,
now
'cause you
there's
have to,
pressure on my head. Like, I don't want to ask this money about this. Or why don't you want to? I just like, if I was just honest, it's like I said
that would have
earlier in
taken
another
half of the
episode,
pressure off. Yeah.
bro. Because it's like, again, the kind of you as a man have to ask yourself, what kind of woman do I want to be with? And with older women, the more honest you are with them,
The better.
Because
Yes.
in the end, they're already making the decision they want you
And
because
not
you're
even
younger.
just that, it's like they've been there. Like you're talking about being broke, my nigga. I was
They've seen
31. I couldn't even afford.
Bro, she
yeah,
had.
so-
That's why I said money was actually not an issue to this woman. Like even I remember at one point, I remember like little things like, where do you gym? I gym in the what's the name of this?
How
gym
much
in
is it a month?
Bodyline
Yeah,
and all that. That's like 50K a month. I'm like, what? like
exactly. You know, so,
that's it.
yeah.
Like, all right, fair. But that was like, but then I also know that was in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And I've seen the difference in Nigeria. But then abroad now, for example, dating older there is like dating somebody normally because even in Nigeria, we know how it is. There's all that seniority thing. Even some girls too have this pride. He's my junior and all that. But we're both paying taxes. We're on the same brackets. But in America now, for example, like the older women, they're now the 30+ women. They're really getting their bag. That like they're independent and all that. Like, yo, how old are you? Okay, a few years younger. Like, okay, can you do this for yourself?
Yeah.
Are you going somewhere with your life? Okay.
Yeah.
It's more like a friendship compared to here. It's like there's that pressure of a more auntie. I don't want to.
So again, I
no,
I
I
said,
like,
auntie,
auntie, I don't want the
I'm
problem.
so dead. So the thing is, so like I said, like the moral compass that kind of like makes you feel like she's an older woman, so already there's no moral compass outside the country, like especially in the US, because I have like 1 or 2 like older women that I've dated, gone out with a few times in Atlanta in particular, right? And the experience is so different. Like I kid you not, like half the time. First of all, they don't ever bring anything about age. Nigerian woman, they'll remind you that I'm not your mate.
That's the thing. And I'm
they
like,
remind you,
I'm like,
just,
and they don't realize
we're
this.
arguing about
It
watch your
looks
tone.
worse on you saying that than it
Yep.
does me saying
We're
it.
arguing, but watch your tone. Don't forget that I'm still not your mate.
Yes.
They will remind you. However, like outside the country, it's like, nah, you guys are the same. In fact, you have to be the ones to kind of
As long as we both
you have
pay
to, like,
taxes, I don't care.
You kind of have
Like,
to
we
remind
both
yourself
pay
that, hey,
taxes.
actually, she's older than I am. In fact, most times maybe they have like a kid that is at like 14, a kid, and I'm just thinking, wow, okay, and she's just talking to me like I'm just her guy.
Wait, sorry. What did you just say? She has a kid.
Yeah, let's skip that. That's another information for
I
another
feel like
time.
there's a lot you have to say that you're not. Well, to be fair, now that you did say America, I just put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah,
because
having a kid at 14,
because I was
yeah,
literally
it's not
just
that-
telling somebody I was on TikTok the other day, and I was like, the amount of girls, and when I say girls, 20, 21, 22,
Who are single moms.
19 even, 23, 24, not even single moms. Some of them just hide the father, to be fair. But there's all that too. So it's like, wait, I'm at an age where I can really date a woman with a kid right now that's way younger than me.
Bro,
and
it's so
I did the
common now.
math. If she had her first kid at, let's say, 20, right?
Yeah.
In 10 years, that child is
It's good to
10.
be 10, exactly.
And she's 30.
And she's 30, yeah.
Time is at 35. If I'm meeting her at
child
30,
is
if a
15.
younger guy is at 30,
So that's why I said she had a kid that's
that's why I
14.
said it
So
makes
it's not
sense.
that unrealistic. Yeah,
you know, like
exactly.
we have to put it in perspective for people to understand. Because
Yeah.
you just be like, wait, how? It's like, think about it.
Because even me, I was a kid is 30. I'm like,
You know what's funny? I dated a woman actually that had a kid. I'll never forget. She was older than me by like 3 years in England. And I remember we met on this party on this night out. Beautiful, beautiful woman. So I remember we talked, we got along, we danced, we even kissed at the end of the night. So at the end of the night when we're listening and all that, she's just like, yo, like I really like you. Like, what are you doing this weekend? I'm like, you know what? I'm actually free this weekend. So I want us to see. She's like, yeah, I want us to see. And mind you, in the club, so it's a bit of loud music. Yeah, I want to see. I also want you to meet my son and all that. So even me too. Obviously, alcohol is flowing, noises. I'm like, yeah, cool. I'm like, sure, okay. Go home that night, we text the next morning, I wake up, hey, how are you? By the way, here's a picture of me and my son. Because now I'm sober. I remember everything. Don't get me wrong. No. I remember everything apart from you saying you had a son. So the next morning, I wake up to to like that photo attachment. I'm seeing a Christmas picture with her and her son. Son is like 5 years old. I'm just there like, what am I supposed to do? I'm 23 years old trying to still get my undergrad. You're 30 now already. You have a child that's 5 years old. What am I supposed to do in this situation? Because now you like me as a person. As I don't have degree. I can't even take care of myself. What do you want me to do?
You know the thing I would say that, you know what? Older women are beautiful in their own ways. Like, they come with their own little... So, yeah. And the thing is, in the end, I guess... men really like what they like depending on age range. Like so I've noticed that generally for men, this age thing does not matter. It only matters when you've let the social construct really like penetrate through you, where it's like, oh, in Nigeria we say, how can the woman be older than you? And so you've let it really like, drive your day to day. But like in this big 2022, my G, there's nobody really cares much.
Are you saying that? Don't forget, one thing I thought about is we've had our older women experience, but then some of them could have been when we were younger, some older. Yeah, but when you're younger,
it's more exciting.
Not even.
It's more exciting because
way more exciting. Woman, but it's like the problems you think you have or you think in your head.
I even like a shred of nothing compared to now.
Now that we're, for example, now if I'm 30, you're 30 this year. I'm 30 this year.
Yeah,
you're
31 this year.
So it's like even now that I think about it, I was like, if I was to date a woman that's 34, 35, it's not really like an older woman.
She's
the
not,
way
she's like what?
The
like
way
3 years?
Like, I'm like 4 years older than your we're in the same brackets. Like at this age, but then if it was like 4 years ago when I'm 26, she's already 30. Yeah. I'm like, oh shit, she older. Like, okay, that's an older woman. You see the context because
I think it's more about like the stages in life that you guys get to. There's kind of like when you just cross that 30. I know there's no written spoken rule anywhere, but like when you cross that 30, it's like everybody between 30 and 37 is going through the same damn thing. Exactly.
We all did together. We pay taxes, everything.
Everybody together.
But you know one thing I learned about older women, last time about older women, because I also want to still talk about the younger women. But one thing I learned about older women too is that like if they really like you, they will put you on game. Like they will be so honest with you and teach you shit. Like, this one woman, I remember this one older woman I was seeing and all that. This woman taught me about taxes, taught me about stuff. I'll be at least in the West, yeah. She was just teaching me about a lot of shit that I did not know about. That even me, I was comfortable enough to ask certain questions because there's a pride you have to remove from yourself as a younger guy when you're dating an older woman.
Yeah, to
whether
just
you want to admit it or not,
yourself and just take your lessons.
Whether you want to admit it or not, but however, if you use it the right way, like I said, she taught me stuff to make me better in life, to make me actually understand systems. Yeah. If I had that pride of I'm missing out on the blessing now because these younger girls. I'm not saying some of them don't know it, but they're not going to teach. Younger girls are looking for you to teach them.
Yep, exactly. In fact, if you don't come with the capability to teach or for them to gain something, then you're almost like nah. In fact, for lack of a better expression, you're a waste of older man. That's what they will say. But anyways, I mean, so we can move to younger women,
depending which one we're talking about.
So I think we should go far to the extremes and then like middle. Yeah. So we started with older women.
I'm about to say Gen Z girls are brave. I fuck with Gen Z girls because there's a difference about, especially these 23-year-old Gen Z girls, 22. There's something about them that there's a newfound confidence, and it's like I understand it and I respect it because some of them now, for example, are younger sisters to older sisters. And I always say this joke, like younger sisters are the most dangerous ones to meet because the older sister has the playbook, has gone through the fire. So all the experiences she has, she's giving you, at least if there's a relationship there, you've seen her battle scars.
Yeah, so
you've heard her story that
this-
you two, you'll be like,
This thing you're saying, right? I keep telling people that, you know, when women say, Yoruba demon, Yoruba men are wicked, half the time it is a byproduct of what your friend has been through, what your family has been through. It's
Not
never
you.
really a direct thing.
Because if you ask them, what did you go through?
They're like,
Well,
well, no,
I
I
heard.
know, but my friend, if you see what they did to my
And
sister.
they don't realize how stupid that sounds because it's like, okay, your friend went through one experience. And
Exactly.
because of that one experience, you want to
You've now
generalize
depleted everybody.
the whole, yes.
And that's exactly how the Gen Z is, right? And it's now even so the reason they're even like bolder now is because there's now a platform for them to, like, you know, speak their minds. Like,
No, but you know what you say that, but I think it's more millennials that do that stuff. Gen
What?
Z are brave in terms of they know it's there, but they'll tell you we'll do our own back. Like they're that hard. Like for me, the ones I've met at least, they're that. I'll jokingly say heartless because they are, but they actually are that confident within themselves that, yo, as much as we're young, we know what the hell to expect from you niggas and all that.
Yeah.
Compared to millennial girls that actually went through the experience. Like they didn't know what to expect. Like girls our age all that. So when they were young, they didn't know what to expect. About bam, we've taught you life. The older guy taught you life, so bam.
yeah, and so I think that was stemmed from again, people generally not having a platform, so women not really sharing their experiences as much until much later. Because think about it, this Yoruba demon culture didn't even start until maybe 4 years ago. Like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
It was when it really started making
it became like a social trend and all
exactly,
that. Yeah.
So before then, it wasn't really a thing, right? I mean, in passing, people will say, "Oh, yeah, be wary, just be careful with the time."
And whether you like to admit it or not, like especially with the internet, is always a young man's game or young person's game.
exactly.
So even us, there's a time that we dominated the internet, but whether you like it or not, you're old to many people.
Exactly, yeah.
Like I thought about it. You know, we're talking about 23-year-olds right now. I said even my little brother right now is 20 this year. He's closer to 23
Same. My
than
brother is 20 this month.
Oh,
It's
fair.
20 next week.
Happy birthday to him. My brother's 20 this year, and I'm like, wait, 20 is closer to 23 than 30 is to
Yes.
33. These niggas are young. Like, there's actually a big
this
generational
actually,
gap.
but that's age mates. Sometimes I have to even put myself in perspective. I'm like, wait, I have a brother who's 24, and this girl who's 23 is moving to me, like the same person that he's trying to toast, and she's coming all the way to me. Like, what?
What am I supposed to
What
do
am I
with
supposed
this?
to do with this?
Like, I'll just look, I'll be like, that's why I said, look, I can't lie. Dating younger girls now is more of how mature you, because even for me, I like women in terms of like, even when I look at you,
You
have to look like a woman. When you have that young cute face, it's like, is she pretty?
Yeah,
But like,
another thing is even for liking women is that because they're women, you don't have to say a lot. Like, you don't just have to do too much. Like, they kind of either already know half of what you're thinking. They kind of already know half of
some
what
of these
you're
young girls are, but at the same time, some of these Gen Z know the game. Like, that's why I said it shocked me that you have to actually just, obviously it's not about you going to search. But that's why I said, like, it's more of a case that guys need to start dating in a way that they get to know the woman, in terms of, even if you know you're not doing anything serious, get to know her, that there's a comfortability and level to you that it will shock you what you learn about her, vice versa, shock you what she learned about you. That even that Gen Z girl, like, I know there's Gen Z girl, I know now, like, this girl, for example, I'll be like, yo, I swear, you actually only are 23. What the fuck? Like, when I'm around you, I don't even feel like you're 23 because there's a certain conversation we're having that is like, yo, okay, I see you're mature. Like, we still have fun. Like, I still make those jokes. You still make my jokes. There's still some stuff I might have to explain. You explain to me, but there's a common ground when it comes to a lot of stuff that is really just that we're learning off one another. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I have a random question. So if you had to pick, right? So you had option A, older woman, option B, younger woman, and you have to go out on a date with for at least 6 months. Like, so meaning that you have to go out dating them consistently for 6 months. Who would you go with?
I can't say. Because,
Interesting.
well, it depends where we are, who's the it's me, I'm a people person, man. I can't lie to you, because a girl can be older than me by a year or two and all that, but if we get along very, very, very well, that doesn't feel forced. No, same thing as a younger girl, if we get along. So it doesn't really matter to me now at this point in life.
Right.
A few years ago, it mattered, like, she has to be younger than me and all that. But even now that I'm at a phase in life that I'm dating, I'm not looking to settle down right now. I actually care about personality. It's not about age. Because like I said, there's some younger women you can meet that are very, very mature for their age.
Yeah.
And in the end, women mature faster than men, whether we want to admit it or not. Obviously, maturity is based off experience, but naturally, most
On
times,
the general spectrum, yeah.
women mature faster than men. So even me, that I'm at an age, I'm 29 right now, but I've been through a lot of experiences, but there's still a lot of experience I've not been through. While there's some 23-year-olds, they've not been through the experiences I've been through, but there's some things they understand. And as I said, especially these Gen Z girls that are younger sisters or even just going through certain ways of life. Because especially one thing we don't talk about is that, especially with the internet age and the access to information, these girls know more.
They do.
Because 10 years ago,
Bro,
that
I kid you
information
not.
was not as available as
Just-
it is right now.
If you need tips on how to not date men, just open Twitter.
Bro, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, like
all there,
even
like,
as I said, like we have
People
our
sharing their
platforms.
experiences, so you're like, wow, I don't want to go through that.
So it's like
Shit, guys.
how you're on Twitter, I'm on like social media and
Yeah.
all that. It's like even now when I'm on things like TikTok and I see how girls share their experiences from funny storytelling to real stories. And I'm like, wait, 10, 20 years ago, this wasn't popular. In fact, the woman sharing her story was like that unique woman that is like, oh my God, I have
if
that
you
one
know,
story
if
to
you
go
know
by.
her story, that you know her.
Yeah.
It was that kind of
But
thing.
then now every girl, young is sharing stories. That's why I said the younger generation now is just like, I know it's no more a surprise. Like
Yeah.
I know what to expect now and
Yeah.
all that. But I don't. That I said, for me in the end, age doesn't really matter. Like you get what I'm saying. Like where I'm at in life. Like what about you? Does it matter?
So to me, I've never cared about age. It's actually ironic, but as much as I always shuffle from older women to younger women, the two people I've ever dated in my entire life were my exact age mates. Like, I mean, kid you not, we're both like they're both 30 now, right? That kind of thing, right?
Okay, I get what you
Yeah,
mean.
exactly. So both my age mates. So meaning that the whole age thing was like never in the window in the first place for me. Like it was just strictly, like you said, personality. And I feel like even when you start to, and this is why like some older men, like 70, can date someone that is like 35, 36.
I
right?
still want to understand that
Yeah.
shit. I ain't gonna
Because
lie
in
to
the
you,
end, they'll say
man.
things
I
like,
ain't
"Oh,
gonna lie.
she's mature."
And the thing
it's
is,
very-
she is.
She
She
is.
is.
I mean, so again,
She
even
is.
if we're having the whole age difference conversation, like it kind of seems like I'm about 35 years, Baba, chill now. I mean, even then, people find love. It's true.
See, at that
Yeah,
age,
so,
you know, I was
people
joking
find love
with
in
somebody
nobody
saying,
else.
at that age, we used to want a new younger babe and all that. I was like, oh, you want your old babe you've been with, but it's like, you're still a man.
Yeah,
no matter
in
what
the
age
end,
you're at,
yeah.
you still want that something new sometimes, unless your
Yeah.
wife is like, your wife. It's a very interesting
Yeah,
thing. But it's
so-
like, let me ask you a question now. So with this dating we're talking about, do you feel like, where do you feel the pressure comes from the most in terms of women in the age group? The younger, the girls your age, or older? So like for me
So
now,
that's- yeah,
like the
you
reason
go
I ask
first,
that is
yeah.
because like when I'm dating, if I'm talking to a younger girl and all that, there's not really a pressure. I call it more of a young pressure I see in terms of, oh, are you dating anybody else? Are you serious with any other girl and all that, da 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 da. Like those young, which is fine. And I was saying in a negative way. It's just like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
that pressure of, okay, I had to tell her what it is. And even me, like I said, there's a point us as men that we say, this is what it is. Can you handle it or not?
Yeah.
Now that the girls your age, 26, I'll say 26, 27, 28, 29, 30
Yeah.
that know what they want in this point in life. That now the pressure is different. The way you come to them is not the same way you come to them as younger girls and all that. There's more of an intention to an extent you have to come with them. I feel like, that's why I said it's weird. That age group in 26 is the middle point that you have to come with an intention. Because with older women, I feel like, not that saying you don't come with an intention, but because they're older and they're the ones that have to accept seeing you and all that, it's like, yo, this young boy wants to see me, fair enough and all that. I can waste my time with him or chill with him or not. So you are chilling. Same thing with a younger girl. I want to woo her that she likes me enough. But that middle age group, I
was
feel for
about to
me,
say,
is the one that I feel is the
group,
most pressure.
That is, oh my days, bro.
I feel it's
You
the most
stole-
pressure.
If I was waiting for it to just drop, because I was about to be like, you see this? There's older crowd, then there's younger crowd, then there's the people who are your age.
The middle. Like,
My
they're
G.
like, what's your
especially
intention?
when like they're like either a year younger or your actual age. Cause, bro, you have no excuses. Cause then it's like, okay, so what do you want to say? You are the same age with me.
And I'm doing this already.
Well,
I already have this
exactly.
girl for me.
You
So
get-
what's up?
And it's like, okay, so, and I know you're not a dumbass. So if you work hard, I also know you can do it. So what are you? See this question. So what are you waiting for? That's the one. Because in the end, you can't say things like, "Oh, I'm on my hustle, I'm on my this." I'm like, "Yeah, I know you're on your hustle,
But it's like, so am I.
but we're all on our hustle."
And the
So
thing-
what do you want to say? You're
I
going
had to learn that.
Are you paying rent? Me too.
Bro, you know what's funny? You saying that.
Oh,
I
you're
learned that-
paying some other bills for your parents. Me
I
too.
learned that the hard way this year. That's why I said, like, when you just said that key thing about, oh, is it just you? Because there's a point sometimes as human beings, you sometimes forget to look outside you in terms of look at the world, look at perspective. It's not just you going through shit. It's
not just
the
you,
same way we talked about on
honest.
one episode about Suffer Olympics. It's not that you're doing Suffer Olympics, but you have to realize everybody has problems. So even you as a guy now, me, I'm always on that. Like I said many times, I am on my hustle right now.
Yeah.
I'm making money. I'm doing this. I'm trying to build myself to a point that I can be comfortable. To the
And
point
then
that
when you're financially
when
stable,
I'm exactly that's
anything that has to do with
any
finances
woman that
is
comes
out
in
the
my
window.
life, baby girl, you want to do this?
Let's go.
You want to
Exactly.
do this?
Yeah.
Go and do this.
That's the one.
That's what I want to get
That's
to.
the one, yeah.
But like you said, that pressure from a woman dating your age, she's going to be asking you why you're on that hustle because everybody's journey is different. How
Yep.
far? Okay, we've
And
been
then
seeing it.
she could be lucky that, right from uni, she just went to NYC. From NYC, got a job. Everything's just been like... steady
And
flowing.
for those that don't know what NYC is National Youth Service.
Corporation. Corps.
Some people.
CORPS.
See why I didn't say that, because I don't know what to say. I can't like that. But that's for people that live in Nigeria. For those that don't know, that's what is youth service. Basically, you have to come and serve your country for a year. That's youth service. But then, like you say, it's easier. As I said, it sounded weird because abroad, like you just said, it just made me realize something. As I said, we have some safety nets here in Nigeria.
Yeah, definitely.
Like you said, the NYC and your father's house,
So you-
Niger.
and that gives you-
So,
that gives you,
don't
like,
need
some
to rush.
3-4 years. Yes,
you don't
now.
need to rush. But
Easily gives you, like,
if
3-4
you're
years.
abroad now, it's like that girl would have gotten a
Like,
job
bro, you
from
just
undergrad
graduated college,
and working
right?
like
Shit,
how
goddamn.
far?
So that's exactly.
So
it's
like for
yeah.
example, like personal story, like I said, like again, like when I was in a relationship, it's like okay, my own girl graduated, has already gotten a job abroad, all that stuff. So she's starting her journey of life.
You are still there. Your
Me,
other girl is
I'm
still
coming
there
back
too.
to Nigeria to do NYC. That they're paying me 40,000 a month. 40,000 is not even $100. And you want me to now try and prepare mentally to settle down with somebody when I cannot even make enough money to take care of myself.
As in, you can't
So
even
like-
buy your average 2 shawarma
So
a
you
day.
see where the
Come on.
pressure now comes in. I was like, and again, she's your age mate. So let's say you're even older. Let's say you're 26 at this time,
she's
26,
like 24.
25, 24. Okay. NYC year is going to go a year and a half because obviously delays all that. From there, you have to now start your hustle in Lagos and all that. Starting your hustle, obviously, depends on the level. It can be slow, it can be fast.
yeah.
There's a point that
Let's
year.
say
Let's just say
average.
that 1 year is your hustle year. That's okay. From there, there's a bit of stability and all that. Now you're 29, 30, that you're finding that stability now and all that. Oh, my homegirl's 28 that's been like, oh, I've been with you. How far? And it's not every woman that does that, but I understand the perspective now. That's what I said.
yeah.
Because at one point I didn't understand it then, but it's like, oh shit, this girl's watching me on my hustle shit that maybe by 32, 31, 33, I'm starting to blow up. But then there's a patience. Every woman has their patience level that we talked about that is like, oh, I've been in this nigga for 3-4 years. There's no intention of what he's showing. I agree he's on his hustle, but it's like, I have my patience and all that I need to think about. Compared to a younger girl, if we were the same age doing that shit, you don't even start thinking of that because she's young, because she's actually going to enjoy it and all that. By the time you even blow yourself that she's at that age that I'm thinking of this, you two, you'll be like, it's okay because I've made it, so I'm ready.
Exactly, yeah.
While the older woman, let me ask you a question now. Because with older women now, I feel like for us younger guys sometimes, do we think long-term with these older women or is it just a short-term thing?
So it's a tricky one, and I think it's very peculiar to whatever older woman you meet, right? Because there definitely are instances where, like, men marry, like, women who are older.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, so... but however, I think every guy who kind of starts, like, a relationship with, like, an older woman, I think he walks in not expecting anything. Now, here's what happens. You walk in, you're kind of just trying to have fun. That's what you're trying to. You're trying to just have fun. You're even excited that an older woman is even like giving you eye, right? So to say, right? And then the next thing is you're kind of seeing her like tick so many boxes. She's taking care of you. Like she's just putting you in this place where that's your daily happiness.
You comfortable, my nigga?
You happy, right?
Yes,
Shit.
very
Like she's
happy.
putting you in a place where every day after work, you're like, you know what? I can't wait to leave work so I can go to this babe's house.
But then you enjoy just short term because you're not thinking, you're like, this
Now
is
that's
good for now.
that's how it starts. Then the 2 ways it goes. you either now start crazy falling in love with her, right? Where apart from just falling in love with her, you fall in love with the new lifestyle you've been introduced to, right? And now that's where like you find older women telling younger guys like, "Hey, I'm just trying to have fun. Like, I'm not trying to like date you and shit. Like, you can't take care of me."
Sounds very personal the way you're
it might be. I guess we'll never find out.
That tone switch was very personal. Like, god damn.
So yeah, so I mean, she'll be like, I mean, I know you feel me and all that, but if you were being honest, you can't take care of me. And they tell you that, you have to be like, shit,
because
she's right.
You just said something, you can't take care of me, and it's like, it's not to say that you're not working hard doing your shit, but
it's just not at the level. Yes,
I
it's
realize
not at the
again,
level.
it's with all women in any. You have to actually. One thing I've realized as a man, and it hurt me to accept it, but I'm like, that's life. You have to be. I don't even want to say a level ahead. You have to be like 2 levels, 3 levels ahead of a woman you actually want to be serious with.
That's true.
Because she too, she's going to be progressing.
Yep.
But her own progression, again with the maturity, is not yours. So let's say you're 1 level ahead of her, right? And you're doing this, it's fine and all that. The day she goes like this, look, he's already like this.
Exactly.
Because her own expectation, I was like, if I'm here, I'm already thinking here. While you're like, okay. Compared to if you're 3 or 2 ahead. That one she don't do. You two, you see from like, I'm proud of you, but you're doing this.
Exactly.
Let me just, speed it up.
But I think there's one other thing we need to touch on though before the like topic wraps up. And I mean, it's going to be a sensitive part of the topic to touch on, right? But it's about the guys. So the guys who we haven't really spoken about, who, because we've just talked about like personal experiences and stuff, but I know 1 or 2 first-hand guys who maybe I'm not so proud of, but I mean, they have the common name Cradle Snatchers, right?
What?
Cradle Snatchers. Right. Now, the Cradle Snatchers are the ones who intentionally go for like very young, immature girls, like the ones that are like 18, 19. Those guys that are like in their mid-30s. Like, so you find them in their like 35s, in their 34s. Going specifically for, find me. I mean, you know those guys.
I'll
find
never
me those
understand it. I'm not going to support it. I don't care. Because it makes no sense. Because if you're at that, this is me. Like, I can speak my I don't care.
Yeah, of course.
Nobody's saying we don't go for women and all that. But if you're at a certain age, there's
a boundary. Yes.
Because me, that you just said that thing now. You're saying 35 plus. Bro, I'm 29 years old. I can't go for an 18, 19-year-old.
So, let me even tell you. So now, which is another topic we're going to tackle another day, like social media and how it disenables like people dating and how it changed the whole dating scene, right? Averagely, like a 19-year-old cannot move to me outside and just be like, she likes me. But I'll probably see you be like,
I can tell.
Shouldn't you be?
You can tell.
Shouldn't you be in like uni first year?
You know how like, some people will say like you can't tell because obviously women, like I say, mature, not mentally, even physically. Yeah. So even some 19-year-olds, you'd be like, oh my, this one looks like a woman. However, that face never lies. That face never lies. That body ain't gonna lie, but that face never lies. In my mind, I'm thinking, but there are guys who actually specifically go after girls. I'm talking about cradle snatchers, and I think it's a general term. People really know what cradle snatchers are. Like older guys. No, explain it, because I didn't know. Yeah, so basically, for those who don't know, it's older guys, say in like your like mid-30s, aiming to date like younger girls. Now, it's not the age range now. Aiming to date younger girls, particularly because they feel they're emotionally immature. And so, like, they're looking for ways to, like, sort of use manipulation to build them into what woman they want them to be. So basically, control, like you said, yeah. What you mean. So it's like, and that's why you find that sometimes younger guys like us back then, we would like date girls who've already dated older guys. Then their standards are like ridiculous, and then we're thinking, okay, like, where you expecting me to like get all this from? Like, where you expecting me to like do all of this stuff from, right? But it's from an older guy who has, run into her, created some unrealistic expectations in her, and now she thinks that's the normal thing, right? So that's what criticism. I think, but then with you saying that now, because I actually want to tackle that, because that's definitely a thing. Yeah. But I feel like it also depends on the girl too, because
of course, definitely.
Men and women, they're people that are naive. Like
which is why I said like it's not about the age; it's about the emotional immaturity, right? Yeah. So somebody could be 19 but be extremely emotionally immature, in which case they can literally identify a cradle snatcher from a mile away. Right, they can identify someone who's trying to just date them because they are young and
they want to. So it's like grooming in a way, basically.
Like grooming. That's pretty much what it is.
It's grooming.
Exactly. Yeah. So
I guess when we say it, we don't think of it because we see it.
Yeah.
But like I said, for me again, to just answer the question, like I'm very, very big on age. Like, I can tell a young girl
Yeah.
from, and even that I'll ask that question. Like, one of the first questions I ask any woman, older, younger, my age, yo, sorry, how old are you? Because even the older women too that look young, I just want it's peace of mind. Because some people will be like, oh, if you liked her but you didn't know the age, would it? But it's like, no, there's a peace of mind I want to have that, like I say, I don't want to date a 19 is my brother's age.
Yeah.
Like, she's old enough, it's legal in countries.
Yeah.
But for me,
Just for your own moral
right
compass, it
now,
doesn't
like,
work. Yeah.
again, where I'm at right now, I don't want that young girl. Like, I'd rather have a girl that has have you graduated from uni? Yes. Worst case, are you in final year? How old are you? 21.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I might shake my head a little bit, like,
But
but
it's like,
okay, 21
okay.
sounds is better
Yeah.
than 19 and all that. Because even the cradle snatching one, I understand. There's two sides I've seen from it. There's the older side, like when you reach that age, you know what you as a man want.
Yeah.
So, like you say, going for that young girl that's old enough, technically,
Yeah.
you are able to, like I say, depict what you want and all that. Because
And like she kind of ticks all the boxes.
Exactly.
Then
So
there's
you
the
can
ones who
control.
like, oh, I've made enough money now. The money I could not make when I was 25, I made it now at 32. Let me catch all these young girls. That's where it is. So I mean, at this point in our show, I think we just had to, like, as usual, throw in some advice on, what people need to.
There's a lot we can still tackle into that
there's
topic
so
very well.
much more
Because there's a
to
lot to think
But
about
at least
now.
let's let people know what they should look out for. So I think for guys in particular, if you're going to be dating, no one is saying don't date anyone that's younger. You could be 32 and dating 19, 18. Nobody really cares. But like, the reason you're dating is because, one, you find that they're emotionally intelligent. Like, they are what you want, not because you're trying to manipulate the person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think we should, I mean, it's not impossible. It's impossible rather for people to just like hear this and adhere. But like, I mean, for those who are going to be listening and taking advice, I think if you're going to be dating someone that's younger than you, just be sure you're dating her for the right reasons, right?
I'll say that, and also actually get to know people. And that's just a general thing, men and women. Is like, I feel like a lot of us, especially now with social media, all these rules that all these people make and all that bullshit, there's a simple foundation. Get to know them and be friends first. Your parents,
Exactly.
If your parents, a lot of people that have parents, that are blessed to have those conversations, and parents will even tell you, be friends first. Because when all the emotion goes away, when all the physical attraction goes away, can you guys be friends in the thick of shit?
Exactly.
So even if she's younger, you understand, if you're a friend, anybody that's your real friend, age doesn't matter.
Yeah, to be honest.
That's your real friend.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. So it's the same thing with dating. Like, yo, if we friends that we're attracted to each other in that way that we date, like, nothing else matters. It's like I said, even the young Gen Z girls that I've met, like, some of them are mature as hell. And we can still joke with each other like, yo, I know you're younger and all that, but when it comes to certain situations, I can trust them
actually talk to
to
you
an
about
point,
it, yeah.
or talk to them to a point that is like, okay, she understands.
Yeah.
And even if I have to teach her some things, it's fine, because in the end, I have more experience.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she understands certain things or processes things a bit quicker, than most people would. So,
Yeah, I agree.
like
So-
you said, it's all about intention.
Yeah, it is. Well, unfortunately, that's the end of our show today.
Shout out to everybody that keeps watching, and again, subscribe to
And
the
like
podcast. We
on our
appreciate
yeah.
you. We appreciate you. It's another good topic, my brother.
Yeah.
The thing is, a lot of these topics we can actually stay on for a
Bro,
while.
if they leave us, we're going
I know,
another
like, again,
45
to be
minutes.
a bit professional and all that.
Yeah.
If we're like with our guys and stuff like that, like, yo, for an hour or
To
two,
be honest,
like, stories will come
hour or
out.
more. Like,
But
so many stories.
Like I said, so again, for us, like I said, to be honest, to anybody out there that's dating, age is nothing but a number. Maturity is always the best.
Yeah, just make sure you're
teacher
dating for the right
experience.
reasons, and try not to serve anybody breakfast, please.
What does, sorry, you need to explain. This is what I said, because we don't know who's watching. Because even I found out some of these terms
Terminology,
late. So
yeah,
what does
yeah.
serving breakfast
All
mean?
right, I mean, just to throw it in before we wrap up. So breakfast, for the surface of things, is like, oh, right, you're promising me this. You've, put in all the effort to claim that this thing you're promising is going to be seen through, and then you disappear. Like, you literally do a whole 180 and just turn around and nothing. For example, it could be that, you've been telling me how much you love me, you can't really take care of me, and then next weekend is your wedding, and you let me know the night before.
Why do we go so extreme, though? How do we go from I'm talking and seeing you to wedding?
Bruh, I don't even know. It
happens.
It's the Nigerian scene, and we're going to talk about it on an entirely different topic, right?
Me, I'll just like to say this disclaimer. Like I said, the worst thing you will catch me doing if I'm single, keyword, and I'm single,
Yeah.
I'm talking to somebody else. And I'll tell you, but the way I hear some stories about some men
Bruh.
married,
Bro, even some guys that you don't even know, like you could be with your female friend and she's like, and you're like, oh, that's a cool guy, and then like 2 weeks in the line, she's like, can you believe that guy is married with 2 kids? Even you're like, oh more,
Wow.
bro. I'm sorry for this breakfast,
That's another topic.
but it's a topic for another day.
Shout out to everyone that keeps tuning in.
Again, you guys remember to subscribe, like, and recommend our page to your friends.
We'll
as well.
be back again, so keep tuning in, keep following. This
Yep.
is Menisms. I'm Michael Scenario.
And I'm Mulumuru Wagunkoya.
All right, till next time.
All right.